The horrible end to Marvin Hagler's career came with a split decision loss to Sugar Ray Leonard, followed by unfounded rumors about his death that painted a tragic picture of boxing's most principled champion. But was this really a tragedy? Or was it the final, defiant act of a man who refused to be broken by a sport that never fully respected him? The story of Marvelous Marvin Hagler isn't about his sad end. It's about his unbreakable integrity. When Marvin Hagler died on March 13, 2021 at age 66, false rumors immediately spread linking his death to a COVID-19 vaccine. The misinformation started with a well-meaning but wrong social media post by his former rival, Thomas Hearns. Hearns posted on Instagram that his friend was in ICU fighting the after effects of the vaccine, though he later deleted the post. But Hagler's family quickly set the record straight. His wife, Kay, took to Facebook just 48 hours after her husband's death, writing, "For sure it wasn't the vaccine that caused his death. My baby left in peace with his usual smile, and now is not the time to talk nonsense." The official statement confirmed he died of natural causes. There's no credible evidence supporting the vaccine rumors that clouded his passing. This fight against false narratives was nothing new for Hagler. His entire life was spent battling misconceptions and demanding respect. Born into poverty in Newark, New Jersey on May 23, 1954, Marvin Nathaniel Hagler faced hardship from day one. His father abandoned the family, leaving his mother to raise 6 children on welfare. During the 1967 Newark riots, their property was destroyed and the family huddled under beds to avoid gunfire. This forged an unbreakable resilience. At 14, Hagler quit school to work in a toy factory, helping support his family. When his mother moved the family to Brockton, Massachusetts in 1970, everything changed. He found sanctuary in the Petronelli Brothers gym, where Goody and Pat became his trainers, managers, and father figures for his entire career. Hagler's loyalty to the Petronellis actually hurt his career. He refused to sign with major promoters who could have fast-tracked his title shot. This significantly delayed his championship opportunity, but established a defining trait: commitment to principle and loyalty, even when it cost him professionally. The boxing establishment made things harder. Legendary heavyweight champion Joe Frazier told him, "You have 3 strikes against you. You're black, you're a southpaw, and you're good." This meant he struggled to find high-profile opponents and was often forced to travel to their hometowns as the underdog. If you're inspired by stories of unbreakable will and determination, make sure to subscribe for more incredible tales of champions who refuse to quit. His first taste of institutional injustice came in November 1979, fighting champion Vito Antuofermo for the middleweight title. After 15 grueling rounds, most observers believed Hagler had clearly won. Hagler himself claimed referee Mills Lane told him he was the new champion, but the official verdict was a split draw, allowing Antuofermo to keep his title. This wasn't just a setback, it was the foundational trauma that shaped Hagler's entire philosophy as a fighter. It confirmed his deepest fears that the system was against him and that he couldn't trust judges to give him fair treatment. This experience created his famous seek and destroy mentality and his vow to never again leave a fight in the hands of scorecards. He kept that promise in his next title opportunity, traveling to London in 1980 and demolishing Alan Minter in 3 violent rounds to finally become the undisputed middleweight champion of the world. As champion, Hagler became a force of nature. His reign lasted 6 years and 7 months, the second longest middleweight championship of the 20th century. He made 12 successful title defenses, with 11 by knockout. His 78% knockout rate remains the highest of any undisputed middleweight champion in history. But calling Hagler just a brawler misses his true greatness. He was a master technician with complete skills. Though naturally right-handed, he fought primarily from a southpaw stance, turning his lead right hand into a sledgehammer jab. He was a fluid switch hitter who could fight from either stance to confuse opponents. His footwork was excellent, his boxing IQ was high, and his defense was underrated. Hagler was the perfect boxer-puncher who could adapt his style mid-fight. He often started as a calculating outside boxer, using his jab and movement, before becoming a relentless pressure fighter who drowned opponents in volume and power as the rounds went on. The peak of his ferocity came on April 15, 1985, in the war against Thomas the Hitman Hearns. What happened over less than 8 minutes is considered the greatest action fight in boxing history. The first round was 3 minutes of pure violence. Hagler absorbed Hearns' best right hand early, a punch that had dropped other fighters, and walked right through it. Bleeding heavily from a cut, Hagler only got more aggressive, eventually overwhelming Hearns for a third-round knockout. Throughout his reign, Hagler felt constantly disrespected. In 1982, frustrated that television announcers refused to use his nickname, he legally changed his name from Marvin Nathaniel Hagler to Marvelous Marvin Hagler. It was a powerful act of defiance in his lifelong battle to be respected on his own terms. Then came April 6, 1987, in the super fight with Sugar Ray Leonard. This was more than a title defense. It was a cultural event pitting the blue-collar warrior against the media darling. Leonard's return was calculated perfectly. After 3 years of retirement due to a detached retina, he watched Hagler's knockout of John the Beast Mugabe in 1986. Where others saw championship grit, Leonard saw opportunity. He believed the 32-year-old Hagler had slowed. Leonard's victory was won at the negotiating table. To get Hagler to fight, Leonard's team gave him a larger purse, $12 million to Leonard's $11 million. But Hagler made 3 critical concessions. The fight was reduced from 15 rounds to 12. They used a larger ring, giving Leonard more room to move, and they wore heavier gloves. From the opening bell, Hagler made a shocking tactical mistake, starting in an orthodox stance instead of his natural southpaw position. This neutralized his most dangerous weapon and played into Leonard's strategy. Leonard won the first 2 rounds easily. Leonard executed his game plan perfectly. He used constant movement, fired quick combinations, and immediately clinched to stop Hagler's offense. His most controversial tactic was stealing rounds with flashy attacks in the final 30 seconds, creating the impression of dominance just before the bell. Hagler eventually switched back to southpaw in the 5th round and began taking control. He was clearly the aggressor. Guerra's scoring was widely criticized. In bitter irony, Hagler's team had successfully objected to the original British judge, fearing he would favor Leonard's boxing style. They requested a Mexican judge instead, leading to Guerra's appointment. The original judge later revealed he had scored the fight for Hagler while watching at home. But here's where Hagler's true character shone through. Disgusted by what he felt was another robbery, he walked away from boxing forever. His retirement was an act of protest against a system that had now betrayed him twice. The rematch story is often misunderstood. Right after the fight, Hagler wanted another chance. He waited a full year for Leonard to give him that opportunity, but Leonard retired instead. In June 1988, Hagler officially announced his retirement, saying he was tired of waiting. It wasn't until 1990, long after Hagler had moved on, that Leonard finally offered a rematch for a reported $15 million. Hagler's response became legendary. When promoter Bob Arum approached him about the lucrative offer, Hagler simply stared at him and said, "Bob, go tell Ray to get a life." This refusal defined his post-boxing character. It was a statement that his pride and integrity weren't for sale at any price. By walking away from a massive payday, he enhanced his legacy, leaving the sport with his health and finances secure while many other fighters, including Leonard, fought past their prime. Hagler found new life in Italy, successfully reinventing himself as an action film star in movies like Indio and Virtual Weapon. He worked as a boxing commentator for British television and in 2000 married his second wife, Kay, settling into peaceful life in Milan, far from boxing's controversies. Marvelous Marvin Hagler's career embodied a blue-collar work ethic. He was a champion forged in hardship, defined by discipline, and driven by unwavering demand for respect he was often denied. While the official record shows a loss to Sugar Ray Leonard, Hagler's refusal to accept a verdict he deemed unjust, followed by his decision to walk away from millions, allowed him to leave entirely on his own terms. In this, he remained spiritually unconquered. He chose principles over paychecks, a decision that has only amplified his legend. Hagler will be remembered as more than one of the greatest middleweights ever. He stands as a symbol of unyielding principle in a sport often lacking it. His life story teaches powerful lessons about fortitude, integrity, and the true meaning of being a champion, both inside and outside the ring. What do you think of Hagler's legacy? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories of sports legends who never compromise their values.